Late one night, I could not sleep. The children were sleeping on the luggage. My wife and daughter were crying. I went outside and walked around. I didn't want them to see me cry. I walked around the building crying and saying, God, why did you punish me? Why did you bring me into this country? I can't understand anybody. If I try to ask anybody anything, all I hear is, I don't know. So God had brought Demetrio from Romania to the United States for his ministry. And he didn't know, English is hard enough for anybody to learn. So for him, he knew no English. I stopped in front of the apartment and I sat on a large rock. Suddenly, a bright light came toward me. I jumped to my feet because it looked as if a car was coming directly at me, attempting to run me down. I thought the Romanian secret police had tracked me to America and now they were trying to kill me. But it wasn't a car at all. As the light approached, it surrounded me. From the light, I heard the same voice that I had heard so many times in prison. He had been put in Romanian prisons and beaten badly over Bibles. He said, Demetrio, why are you so despaired? I said, why did you punish me? Why did you bring me to this country? I have nowhere to lay my head down. I can't understand anybody. He said, Demetrio, didn't I tell you I am here with you also? I brought you to this country because this country will burn. I said, then why did you bring me here to burn? Why didn't you let me die in my own country? You should have let me die in jail in Romania. He said, Demetrio, have patience so I can tell you. Get on this. I got on something next to him. I don't know what it was. I also know that I was not asleep. It was not a dream. It was not a vision. I was awake, just as I am now. He showed me all of California and said, this is Sodom and Gomorrah. All of this, in one day it will burn. Its sin has reached the Holy One. Then he took me to Las Vegas. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. In one day it will burn. Then he showed me the state of New York. Do you know what this is? He asked. I said no. He said, this is New York. This is Sodom and Gomorrah. In one day it will burn. Then he showed me all of Florida. This is Florida. He said, this is Sodom and Gomorrah. In one day it will burn. Then he took me back to the rock where we had begun all of this. All of this I have shown you. In one day it will burn. I said, how will it burn? He said, remember what I am telling you, because you will go on television, on the radio, and in churches. You must yell with a loud voice. Do not be afraid, because I will be with you. I said, how will I be able to go? Who knows me here in America? I don't know anybody here. He said, don't worry yourself. I will go before you. I will do a lot of healing in the American churches, and I will open the doors for you. But do not say anything else besides what I tell you. This country will burn. I said, what will you do with the church? He said, I want to save the church, but the churches have forsaken me. I said, how did they forsake you? He said, the people praise themselves. The honor that the people are supposed to give Jesus Christ, they take upon themselves. In the churches, there are divorces. There is adultery in the churches. You must yell in a loud voice that they must put an end to their sinning. They must turn toward the Lord. The Lord never gets tired of forgiving. They must draw close to the Lord and live a clean life. If they have sinned until now, they must put an end to it and start a new life as the Bible tells them to live. I said, how will America burn? America is the most powerful country in the world. Why did you bring us here to burn? Why didn't you at least let us die where all the Dudemans have died? He said, remember this, Demetrio. The Russian spies have discovered where the nuclear warehouses are in America. When the Americans will think that it is peace and safety from the middle of the country, some of the people will start fighting against the government. The government will be busy with internal problems. Then from the ocean, from Cuba, Nicaragua, Mexico. He told me 2 other countries, but I didn't remember what they were. They will bomb the nuclear warehouses. When they explode, America will burn. What will you do with the church of the Lord? How will you save the ones that will turn towards you? I asked. He said, tell them this, how I saved the 3 young ones from the furnace of fire, and how I saved Daniel in the lion's den. is the same way I will save them. The angel of the Lord also told me, I have blessed this country because of the Jewish people who are in this country. I have 7 million Jews in this country, but they do not want to recognize the Lord. They didn't want to thank God for the blessings they received in this country. Israel doesn't want to recognize Jesus Christ. They put their faith in the Jewish people in America. But when America burns, the Lord will raise China, Japan, and other nations to go against the Russians. They will beat the Russians and push them all the way to the gates of Paris. Over there they will make a treaty and appoint the Russians as their leaders. They will then unite against Israel. When Israel realizes she does not have the strength of America behind her, she will be frightened. That's when she will turn to the Messiah for deliverance. That's when the Messiah will come. Then the church will meet Jesus in the air, and he will bring them back with him to the Mount of Olives. At that time, the battle of Armageddon will be fought. When I heard all of this, I said, if you are truly the angel of the Lord, and everything you have told me is true, then all you have said must be written in the Bible. He said, tell everyone to read Jeremiah 51, 8 through 15, Revelation chapter 18, and Zechariah chapter 14, where Christ fights against those who possess the earth. After his victory, the angel said, there will be one flock and one shepherd. There will be no need for light. The Lamb of God will be the light. There will be no sickness, no tears, and no deaths. There will only be eternal joy, and God will be the ruler. There will be only one language, only one song, and no need for a translator. And Demetrio, he continued, a word of warning. If you keep anything from the American people that you are told, I will punish you severely. How will I know this is for real, that it will really happen? I asked. As a sign that I have spoken to you tomorrow before you wake, I will send someone to bring you a bed. And at noon I will send you a car and a bucket of honey, after which I will send someone to pay your rent. Then the angel left. So he's questioning an angel that was sent to him, just the way that in the Bible, Moses questioned God in the burning bush. Moses questioned God a few times, as did, I believe it was poor old Elijah and Elisha and them, and others throughout the Bible. And when we read the Bible and see that, well, God's right in front of them, why are they even asking these questions? But in reality, if someone told you to go out and say these things to warn people of what's coming, people are going to think I'm nuts. That's the first thing. No one listens to me. That's what I would say, because most people don't listen to me. Come on. I'm quiet. And if I do say something, people just kind of pass it off or don't understand my meaning. So, in saying that, here I am reading you a portion of Demetrio's story, true story. So after the angel left, there's a portion here. It says, this is all taking place in 1984, mind you. Why did God name America Mystery Babylon? Tell them because all the nations of the world immigrated to America with their own gods and were not stopped. Encouraged by the freedom here, the wickedness began to increase. Later on, even though America was established as a Christian nation, the American people began to follow the strange gods that the immigrants had brought in, and also turned their backs on the God who had built and prospered this country. And then there's more. And it goes on with more where he gets woken up by the night. I could just see an angel coming and waking me up in the night. Hey, come here, I got to talk to you. Be like, dude, I'm asleep. It's hard enough for me to get any sleep. I could see myself saying that, which is funny in a way, because if it's angels coming to wake you up, to tell you important stuff, you should wake up. I mean, come on. And not even gripe. But for this guy, for his whole story, all his life, a supernatural encounter was, he was just like this, someone, how we read from the Bible. When the stuff, if he went and told his story, Oh my gosh, there's some terrible music behind me. Lord help them. Somebody with some music turned up too loud with some terrible music. Anyway, I have a bachelor's in psychology. When people talk like this, psychologists tend to label them with certain mental diseases and medicate them. Can you imagine? They probably would have done the same to a lot of our prophets in the Old Testament. And a lot of people would have thought Paul was crazy. In fact, they did. A lot of people did. So, anyhow, I think I will go ahead and start from the beginning at this book. I just thought I'd give you a preview. And if the videos stay up, they stay up. If they don't, they don't. But for some reason, I found this book today, so I thought it might have been a sign. Y'all have a great week.